Hello, everyone. This is Chapter 4 of the All-Inclusive Approach, the Art of Divine Remembrance, written and read by Suyana. Chapter 4, entitled Speaking of Relationships. And here we go. When I first implemented the all-inclusive approach to living, I was so disappointed and depleted from my attempts to will my circumstances and reality to be different. My efforts had left me feeling defeated and disheartened. After years of positive thinking, vision boards, and daily affirmations, I was still without a beloved soulmate, sustained financial abundance, unwavering self-confidence and clarity, and an intentional community I could call home. The law of attraction had failed me, or I had failed at it. Either way, I was sliding into depression and a crushing sense of disempowerment. This is a real flashback to 2016 for me. Okay. At this moment of bottoming out, I heard an invitation to give up. But it didn't feel like succumbing to defeat. It felt like finally accepting myself as I was and opening up to the support that I had been rebuffing in an effort to do it myself and control outcomes with my mind. Giving up was being requested of me by something both within me and beyond me. It was leading me to relinquish the desire to control and predict so I could align with the remembrance and sharing of wisdom that was being offered by what I can only describe as my entourage of energetic beings, which included my higher, most evolved self. I was being led into a new habit of being inclusive. As I did so, I found myself adrift between two seemingly conflicting ideologies: the truth that we are all one, and the seemingly opposing concept contained in the desire to identify and maintain healthy boundaries and express my own individual soul signature in this world. As an empathetic and heart-centered person, I wasn't struggling with an overinflated ego. I was uncovering the way to empower an inferior one. It appeared the way to do this was to give myself permission to be an individual. I was filled with questions. 1. How could these two concepts, oneness and individuality, coincide and integrate into my new approach to life? 2. If I was one with everything, then why would I need to create boundaries? 3. What purpose did it serve to maintain a healthy state of separation and independence from another when technically there was no other? 4. Why did it feel so off balance to move through my day without boundaries, without spoken and unspoken tolerance levels around what was expected of me both physically and energetically? 5. What was my definition of the acceptable and unacceptable ways of being treated by others? How could I feel confident and compassionate in my relationship choices and dynamics? That was number 6. And number 7, how could I reconcile oneness with the seeming necessity of discerning boundaries? Well, luckily, with inclusivity as my guiding principle, I found a means of incorporating both the totality of my eternal nature with the finite expression of me in this one lifetime. And it came in the most unexpected of ways. One day, while I was taking a shower, it occurred to me that my body maintained both the expression of oneness and the necessity of healthy boundaries. Here was this perfectly appointed soapy hand cleansing the largest organ of my body, my skin, and it dawned on me that without separation my body would not function. My heart cells would blend into my lung cells, which would intermingle with my skin cells, which would be all over the place inside and out. I would be complete chaos. I started to see that healthy boundaries provided the necessary structure and order for the functionality of all physical things. Without these inherent boundaries, everything would be indistinguishable. We would all be one, sure, but there would be no thing because it would all be just one thing. We would not have the privilege of interacting with other people, places, and experiences because there would be no distinction between anything. My body had to create boundaries even within itself to be a functional organism. All physical manifestations have this distinguishing characteristic, and without it, there would not be the vast array of diversity and beauty we see all around us. I understand how it was necessary in the physical world, in the world of form, to have boundaries in all manners of things. I realize that even in the presence of boundaries, we still exist within the fabric of the oneness. One is not, in fact, the opposite of the other. And what a relief it was to have that moment of clarity, a moment that allowed me to honor this divine connection I felt with all things, while also honoring the natural urge I had to create authentic boundaries in my environment and relationships. I could include it all, boundaries and deep connectivity with all that is. Who knew that the simple act of showering could result in such clarity? But there you have it, and it wasn't the last time. I get lots of great ideas in my shower. So here is one of the first concepts I offer you. I welcome you to give yourself permission to identify, define, and establish healthy boundaries in your life. In essence, I invite you to acknowledge and embrace that you are an expression of the oneness, connected and part of it, while interacting with all other parts in the infinite oneness from your unique vantage point. You're one, as many expressions of the one. A spiritual teacher who has impacted my journey of self-awareness, especially at this stage in my life in 2016, Matt Kahn, once pointed out that if you look at the letter I and the Roman numeral 1, they are the same. There is no way to separate the I from the 1, he would go on to say. And that is a perfect analogy to take with you into this process of allowing yourself to flourish and thrive as an I, existing in the vastness of the one. Grab your journal and jot down areas of your life you would like to create some boundaries. Here's some prompts or questions to contemplate. Do you feel heard, respected, and acknowledged for your contributions? Are the people in your family conscientious of your needs and preferences? Do you say yes to requests from others when saying no feels harmonious? Do you spend time nourishing your body, mind, and emotions regularly? For me, setting healthy boundaries has required a nurturing of my own self-worth and a claiming of my right to have boundaries in my relationships. It is most obviously expressed in my relationship with my son. Being a single mother has had its share of hardships, but none has been more challenging for me than to create healthy boundaries with the person I love the most and who needs me more than anyone. His elementary school years were especially trying as I had developed a habit with him of being more of a servant than a parent. He would call me into his room to hand him his drink or a charger instead of standing up to fetch it himself. These types of things. Infuriating things. It took me years to disengage from my knee-jerk reaction of jumping up to attend to his many requests, which, if not met, quickly devolved into demands. Eventually, I realized this dynamic was not only highlighting discord within me, but also offering a growth opportunity for my son and our relationship. After I accepted that we had both done our best in every past moment, a crucial component of being all in, I opened up to the evolution that was guiding us into a new way of relating to each other. Allowing myself to establish balanced parameters in our interactions gave us both a boost in confidence and self-reliance. He could acknowledge his ability to care for himself, and I could affirm that I had value and needs to address as well. It also opened me up to honor other people's boundaries without feeling rejected or neglected. Common responses for those in codependent relationship patterns. Establishing a set of standards by which you engage in interactions is not demanding, restrictive, or judgmental, which were all things that I had considered true up until this point. It is also not being in resistance to what is showing up in your experience. Think of it as applying wisdom and discernment instead. It is the result of self-respect and a willingness to value your opinion of yourself above all others. I say above all others with intention. We can only have perspective on our own experience. We can only take responsibility for our own actions, reactions, and responses to life's unfoldings. When we feel at one with ourselves, we can be at ease with being around others and set a context for how we wish to be treated from a place of love and respect, as opposed to defensiveness and judgment. The cultivating of peace within ourselves is a result of the acknowledgement and acceptance that we are an individual having a unique and individual experience. We must give ourselves permission to be an individual. While we are a part of the collective, we still experience the world from our own unique perception. And that is exactly as God has intended us to be. Unique but ever connected and participating in the oneness. Once we establish a grounded practice of allowing ourselves to be an individual, we can embody the preferences or boundaries that are most nourishing for us. While this process may include offering space to those who cannot show you kindness and respect, it may also reveal reactions and beliefs within you that can be questioned and brought to light. For example, distancing yourself from a loved one during a challenging moment may be perceived by you as punishing them for their bad behavior by abandoning them in a time of need. As caring, sensitive people, we often fear that leaving someone in an instance of discomfort will only intensify their discomfort. We feel it is our responsibility to stay in these dynamics, regardless of how much we would prefer to retreat to a place of relief or harmony. However, when we remain in these dynamics to avoid feelings of guilt or the possibility of the other person feeling abandoned, we deprive both ourselves and them from the opportunity to grow and develop self-awareness and resilience. We are only perpetuating a pattern of codependence in which neither person can honor their own needs. In choosing to honor each individual's need for space alone to process and recenter, we create an opportunity for integration and expansion. We establish a pattern of mutual respect and authentic communication through our commitment to being open and honest about our needs and boundaries. It is in these moments we remind ourselves that the most powerful and supportive relationship we have to access during moments of expansion is with our inner world. It feeds our subconscious mind guidelines about how we would like to be treated. It instills a habit of self-care and respect that penetrates the world and relationships around us, while giving those people we interact with permission to do the same.
Thank you for diving into this chapter's content with me. It was a pleasure to connect with you. If you would like to deepen your introspection and connection with this material, you can click on the companion video in which I discuss more intimately the topic we just touched on and offer some exercises, practices, and prompts to support you more fully in your journey of self-realization. Feel free to leave a comment about your experience, insights, or challenges. All of you is welcome here, and I look forward to connecting with you again.